we should be started here. Yes, we've got some music, we've got some live stream. All right, welcome everybody to another live stream. Always start off by getting tongue-tied. That's the warm-up. You know, people say who do singing and things, they say you want to do like voice warm-ups for singing. You want to do, not that we're singing here, but anyways, and you want to like do pronunciation warm-ups. I think they call them diction or something, like just pronunciation warm-ups is what you kind of want to do. And basically, apparently I don't do enough of that, and it tends to happen right as soon as we hit start the camera, and then start talking like that. That's pretty much how it goes. Anyways, welcome to a live stream. Today we are, once again, as you can see by the title, custom mod pack testing. Now, we are in a Thinking Pack 2, and we've got some developments on exactly what is going on here. So, since the last live stream, many thanks to Lupus590 for helping identify the issue. We basically found that it's cows. As strange as that might sound, it's cows. Probably not exclusively cows. I did another test later, and it seems like chickens have something to do with it as well. Let's see if we can demonstrate this here. So let's go into test Superflat. By the way, for those of you guys who want to try this mod pack for yourself, we are still like testing it, trying to get it working properly. But if you want to try it for yourself, there is a link down in the Twitch panels and hopefully in the YouTube description as well, if I remembered to add it. I don't know if I remembered last week or not. That's kind of a thing. But in any case, if you want to try this mod pack for yourself, and maybe at first, like maybe if you want to help identify what the issue is, or maybe if you want like why it's lagging, or if maybe you want to just play around with it, maybe it works on your setup, and it's just a thing with my computer here. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 FPS. Let's turn on all the meters here. Now, it always gets worse, usually gets worse, when we start actually recording. So that might make it very difficult to tell, but basically cows, we found that basically we could, you know what, hang on, let's adjust this, but we found that you spawn one cow and the frame rate immediately drops. It just drops tremendously. There's some, I had some screenshots about that. It's a little harder to tell while the thing is recording here and streaming and all that. It's a little harder to tell, but this, what you're seeing on the left, over here, this giant red area is the frame rate. So you see, down in the bottom left corner, down there, there is a meter that says, it says 60 and it says 30. Basically, below the 60 line means that it's running faster than 60 FPS. So conveniently, you see some green frames in the middle there that are below the 60 line. That is very nice. That means those frames were going faster. So what you want to see is that coming in all smoothly, smooth green below the 60 line. Now, below the 30 line is still acceptable. It's not like, you know, 60 FPS is like super smooth, right? So you're spinning around and it's just super smooth movement and everything, and that is really nice. 30 below 30 is okay. And when the meter is below the line, that means that it's running faster, if that makes sense. So, yeah, so below the 30 line means it's running faster than 30 frames per second, which means it will be running good. So it's not, like, super smooth, but it's not laggy, you know? When it's above the 30 line, that means it's running slower. Like right now, it's slowly speeding up a little bit, as you can tell. As you can see in the top left of the screen, when the red lines are not going in front of it, it says 25 FPS right now, then it says 6, then it says 2. It's really struggling here indeed. But basically, we are trying to get rid of all this red. We're trying to get it down at least below the 30 line. Now, the weird thing was, let's see if we can walk around a little bit. The weird thing was, testing without the recording, it was basically, we got it to the point where it would run pretty much steady, relatively steady, at 130 to 250 frames per second, which is very fast, very nice. That is exactly what you're looking for. Every like 10 frames or so, it was jumping to 30, which is a little bit weird. But as it is, as you can see, we've got a giant wall of red coming because it's running about 3 FPS right now, which is obviously not ideal. So we need to try to solve this. Now it jumped up to 20. Okay, so I'm just trying to debate what to do to get it to speed up enough that we can actually demonstrate this cow thing, because the cows definitely do a big deal to affect it. Oh, okay. First, two things to try to start with. Let's open the chat menu. And when you open the chat menu, you can notice actually sometimes... By the way, for those of you guys, if you are ever trying to troubleshoot Minecraft or troubleshoot a Modpack or something, we do have the Better FPS mod installed, by the way, which should be improving it. So it's definitely not making it worse, but it should be... At least I don't think it's making it worse. It's supposed to improve it, but obviously not enough. But to really troubleshoot something like this, if you guys are doing it for yourself, you want to... Oh, use VSync off. Apparently it was on. Okay, let's turn that off, because what VSync does is tries to sync it to your monitor, so it can be a little harder to tell exactly where your lag is, exactly what's going on with VSync on, because what happens is, if your computer's running faster than... I'm pretty sure I had VSync off when we were testing. We did just add a random mod for helping troubleshoot, and it did change a couple settings when it installed, so that could be what happened. Okay, here's the thing. Wait, is Entity Shadows on too? Nope, that's off now. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Anyways, back to the point. Is that what you have here? With VSync on, it will try to snap your frame rate to be in sync with your monitor. So your computer monitor, basically, as I understand it, basically it goes and flashes pictures on the screen, your computer monitor does, at 60 frames per second is the standard speed. So 60 pictures per second is what the monitor is flashing at. And so what happens, if the game is running at 60, then it looks good, because every frame the monitor does... and that's like a physical thing that the monitor does to flash the picture. And every frame the monitor does, if your game is running at 60, it's like one frame that the game generates is one frame from the monitor. So it looks very smooth. If the game is running at 30, then the monitor, every 2 frames the monitor flashes, then the game changes. So it's pretty smooth that way too. But if you're doing something like halfway in between, like at 45 frames per second, if that's what the game's running at, then it can look very odd. Sometimes, from what I understand from talking to like people who know stuff about hardware, sounds like if you're running at 45, like halfway in between frames per second, it can look kind of odd, because your eye picks up on the stutter of it's like it's not fast enough to handle 60, but it's too fast for 30. Oh, nice, we're getting some... It's speeding up here. That's nice. But anyways, back to the point, is that if it's running at 45, it's like it'll show, like the monitor's always flashing at 60, and it's like the game will show one frame, and then another frame, and then like duplicate the frame, so it's like 2 frames of the same thing, and then a new one, and so it gets to be like a 1 frame, and then 2 the same, and then 1 frame, and then 2 the same, and so it's a little bit unstable. So what VSync attempts to do is to sync it to the monitor. So if your frame rate is running fast enough to be faster than 30, but not fast enough for 60, then VSync will kick in and jump everything down to 30. Is basically what'll happen. It slows it down so that it syncs with the monitor and looks smooth rather than being all jumpy. And if your frame rate is running a whole lot faster, like maybe at 200 frames per second or something, no monitor, well, I shouldn't say no monitor, there's some pretty fast ones, but most standard monitors can't show faster, it can't show 200 frames per second, so it's just like pointless calculating of frames, so VSync will cut it down to 60 if that's what your monitor does. That's my understanding of how this works. So that's what VSync does, and VSync will even jump it down lower. Like, I think I've seen VSync jump it down to 20 before, because that's 3 pictures in 60. And I think I've seen it do 15 before, I'm not entirely sure. But basically, the way to see for sure more what's going on is to turn VSync off. Then you can see more clearly where it's stuttering and how much it's stuttering, whether it's just like slightly below 60 or whether it's like a big deal far off of where it should be. So that's the thing. So anyways, we've got VSync off now. So let's go ahead and try to troubleshoot this. Now the trouble is we need to get this stable enough to be able to demonstrate the cows affecting the frame rate. Let's kill all the entities again. That helped a lot last time. At E. So that, okay, apparently there were no entities in the area. Okay, so that's good. And what we had to do when we were troubleshooting it is to actually quit to title and go back in. Now, a couple things. Oh yes, a couple things. There is also processor core affinity. I don't know exactly how you explain that, like in terms of what that phrase or whatever. But in any case, what that basically means is which core is in your processor the game is allowed to use. And so that needs to be adjusted. And here we go. Okay, so it's coming along. Very nice, very nice, very nice. It's slightly... I don't know, it had a section there where it was running somewhat smoothly. Okay, so we need to allow it. So basically, when your computer's multi-threading, doing all kinds of processes all at once, like running OBS, running the game, running Twitch, running whatever... Oh, speaking of Twitch, we've still got the Twitch preview running over here, which always slows down the CPU somewhat. So let me pause that and see that, wow, it's speeding up already. Okay, is that going to hold, or is that just a fluke like it was the couple minutes ago? We will see. Okay, so I just paused the Twitch preview. That's the thing when you're doing mod packs and trying to build your own mod pack, is that you run into some stability issues. Okay, so you can see we've got a fair amount of green frames in there that the green lines are below the 60 line, far below it. That's really nice. And then it just jumps down to 1 FPS. Okay. So as you can see, it wasn't very stable there, but now it just jumped down incredibly. So what we need to do is we need to do two things. For one thing, we need to set the process priority of Minecraft, and for another thing, we need to set which cores it's allowed to use. So let us go here. I'm just going in the task manager. Click the process, click go to details. java.w.exe. We want to set the affinity. Basically, in this machine, it is a quad core. There's build videos, computer build videos on the tech channel for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with that. But basically, this is a quad core system. And so, what it has, it also has on Intel processors, it's called hyper-threading, I think. AMD, I don't know what they call it, but basically it's where it uses one physical core as if it were two cores. There's a little bit of explanation behind why that works. But so it counts it as if it's got 8 cores. But let's just pay attention to just the physical cores. So there's 4 of them. And we want... basically, I'm going to set Minecraft to be allowed to use the last 2. There's some programs that are only able to use your first core, so basically what you want to do is leave your first core open for anything, and I'm going to set, so that would be CPU 0 and 1 because of the hyper-threading thing. And so CPU 0 and 1, CPU 2 and 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, those are the last 2 cores, and we'll set it to be only allowed to use those, because we're about to bump up the process priority of Minecraft dramatically. And what happens when you change process priorities, by the way, I'm in the task manager right now in Windows, when you change process priority, is that it gives it a higher priority. So other things that you'd normally be able to do, like go around and change programs and do different things, they'll run a whole lot slower, and if you mess with it too dramatically, then it can make the rest of the computer unusable while your program's running here. So that's one reason I'm setting it to only use the last 2 cores, because that means no matter how, as far as I understand it, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but if it can only use the last 2 cores for Minecraft, if it can only do Minecraft on the last 2 cores, let's say it that way, then, oh, and it just, I didn't do anything there, it just unbottlenecked a little bit. Then what happens is you can set it pretty much as high priority as you want, and other things will still happen because they'll run on core number 1, like the first core, in this case 0 and 1. And they'll run on your second, because this is a quad core machine. Anyways, Hopefully that makes some sense. If it doesn't make sense, or if I'm wrong, or whatever, then let me know in the comments, or in the stream chat, or whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and set Minecraft to use the last 2 cores. That has been set now, and let's set the priority now to be... There are 6 priority measurements. There's normal, and this is basically because it can't do everything at once. Your computer can never do everything at once. It's always prioritizing certain things. So it's like the priority score is basically how much time it'll spend on one process per second compared to another. So like within 1 second, how much time it spends on one process versus another. So there's normal priority, there's below normal and low, and then there's also above normal, there's high, and then there's real time. Now, apparently real time, they say it can mess up your system because other things often become just completely unusable. So I'm not going to do real time, but I'm going to do just below that. Going to set it to high priority. Change priority, there we go. So, we may see that it is doing nothing. Okay, it was supposed to speed Minecraft up, but it didn't, so that will be that. So it is now set to use the last 2 cores, including the hyperthreads, and it is set to high process priority. Okay, well, OBS, I want to change OBS as well to be allowed to use, to not be allowed to use the last core. That's what we used to do with, back when we did a Thinking Pack 1, because mod packs are always a fair amount to handle. So let's tell OBS not to use the last core. I think it will handle that just fine. Let's just watch for some dropped frames here. It appears to be going just fine. It appears to be going just fine. That is good. That is good. No dropped frames yet. Okay, can we cut it out of the second to last core? Does it need 3 cores to run and record and stream at the same time? Let's see. Let's see now. Oh, of course it... hang on. You know what? Okay, I thought that might free up some extra processing for Minecraft, but it didn't. As you can see, there's still a solid red wall of frame rate meter there. And also, OBS uses more CPU when you're moving around in the scene. So let's let it use 3 of the cores. Let's keep it out of the last one, but let's let it use 3 just so that hopefully it doesn't start dropping frames. It never does, which is really nice. With this computer build, of course, I do have an extra graphics card in it, which is very nice, since making the videos. Very nice, like it's a 10-year-old one, so it's nice. Better than a single memory stick. If you guys happen to build this computer build, get 2 memory sticks for dual channel, not a single stick like I did. But in any case, what was I going to say? I was going to say, yeah, OBS never drops frames. It's set on the highest priority it can be, except for real-time, not real-time. And it never drops frames, which is really, really nice. Really nice indeed. So let's let it use 3 out of 4 cores here, and let's go for this. Okay. So, the pie chart on the right, by the way, is mostly purple. That is the tick time, the amount of time basically the Minecraft world runs in ticks, and that's a way of measuring time. I think there's like 20 ticks per second, and so basically what that is doing is it keeps the Minecraft world moving, and that is taking a significantly long amount of time right now, which is what is going on, what the problem is. Okay, so now that we are here with a very slow frame rate, let's turn, just for the sake of turning. Okay, so what exactly can we do to get this running fast enough to actually be usable? Because what I was planning to do today, for those of you guys who are wanting to like see the troubleshooting of this, what I was planning to do today is to troubleshoot which mod is making the cow lag everything. But as it stands, we can't even get it running fast enough to check out the cows lagging everything. So let's just walk forward briefly just to see if it will speed anything up at all. By the way, for those of you guys who are curious, what we are running at now system-wise, the system memory usage is 6.5 gigabytes out of 7.9 gigabytes. 6.5 full. Paged pool is 229 megabytes, which I think is basically the swap on the Mac, the swap to disk. Although there's paged pool and there's non-paged pool, and I don't know what the difference is with those, if they're both the same thing or not. But anyway, so our memory is 6.5 gigabytes out of 7.9. Now our CPU is running currently at 3.15 gigahertz. It's rated to be able to go up to, to be able to overclock, not overclock, but like whatever it's called. I know on Intel it's called Turbo Boost, where it goes faster than its maximum speed, like just naturally because it needs more speed. I don't know what it's called on AMD, I forget, but it's rated to run at 3.6, run faster up to 3.9, but if it doesn't need the extra speed, it'll slow down below that, so normally it's running around maybe 2.1 or so when you're just like browsing the web. So it saves electricity, saves things like that. Currently it's running at 3.1 gigahertz, and it's running at 60% usage, the CPU is. That's between all the processes on the computer. So, oh yes, I remember Lupus Vanelli was saying something about, okay, what can we do here? Going to change the way that OBS captures the game in case that has something to do with it. There's two possibilities to what is going on, why with OBS on it makes it worse. There's two possibilities. One is the way that OBS is grabbing frames from the game, and the second is just simply having a second process, a massive process like OBS, recording and streaming at the same time, which, I mean, the Mac that I used to use, and a lot of you guys who are trying to stream, you might have computers like this as well, where it was not even possible to stream and record at the same time. Like, that was not even possible. This computer, though, it is possible, and it's not using the GPU, it's using the CPU encoder. So anyways, that aside, so it's either because OBS is running, or like just simply running, or it is because of the capture, the way it is capturing the game. So, now here's a question though, can you just simply hide the game from the screen like that? Or does it keep capturing it? Because if it keeps capturing it, then that wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be easy to tell, and it hasn't sped up yet. Hang on. Let's check properties on the game. Let's just switch to the OBS scene so you guys can see. Where's OBS? I believe that it's... Hang on, just trying to get OBS on the screen so that you guys can see it too. Okay. Let's go for this. Whoops, that's the wrong program. Wrong program, just trying to click on things, get things moved over here. Okay. Okay. Where are we? Okay, OBS display capture. And that would be the wrong place to capture. Okay, hang on. Entering studio mode. Let's just go ahead and adjust, because here's the thing. Since last time we did OBS display capture, which was a while ago, showing OBS on screen, I changed things quite a bit as far as the setup goes. So, like, moved the screens around, did things like that. So just need to fix that. Okay, what do we have here? We have display capture. Okay, that would be the display capture. That needs to move. That is capturing the wrong display as well, because we've changed everything around. There we go, that would be now the right display. Sorry, one moment please. We're almost ready. And just going to switch back to Twitch. Discord made its way onto the top of the screen, so can't see the Twitch chat. There we go. Now we got the Twitch chat. Okay, anyways, back to the point. So, we want to crop this because we just want OBS on the screen. Okay. And we don't want this, okay, hang on. Display capture, where are we? We are at the, here we go, up to the top so that we can see it. Sorry, one moment please, we're almost there. We just need to adjust the size of this, move this over, move the webcam over so that we can see that properly, and I'm just adjusting the scene here. Just need to crop out the other programs, transform, let's see, edit transform, there we go. We want to adjust the, where is it, the, yeah, crop off the bottom of the scene. Let's go for maybe 1,000 pixels. That is too far. Almost there. Alright. And whoops, okay, let's go for 900, let's try. Let's try 950. There we go, okay, that looks about good. Okay, and we should be able to, oh, I think the top is, yeah, the top is cropped in way too much as well. Okay, this would be a thing that would have been good to do before starting the stream, but you never think of these things ahead of time. So, okay. Okay, let's try 20 pixels at the top. Nope, that's too small. Let's try 30. Or 50. Yeah, 50. Let's go for 50. Okay, alright, here we go. We should be good to go. Let's close that. We've got, okay, I think we have... Alright, let us transition. There we go. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay, we now have... Okay, so here would be the OBS scene. Let's just change this picture. Let's change it to the regular one. Where is the picture? That would be image. Let's go properties, I think. Hang on. Let's see. Just gonna change. Oh wait, actually, we've got. I think the other image is actually available somewhere. Let's remove that image. Now we got a random white screen. All right. We want to get the other image from the regular. Where's image? There we go. Image. Image. Add existing. Add existing. We want to add the existing. We want to add. Where did it go? Blue gradient to center. There we go. Nice. Now the whole screen looks blue. Alright, so let's move that down. There we go. Come on, all the way down. Thank you very much. Not all the way down. We don't want it below the white. Speaking of which, what do we have here? Oh yeah, we just have the blue gradient. Okay. Go back to here. Nope, wrong scene. Go to here. There we go. Alright, and we've got music. We've got... Everything's looking good. Everything is looking very good indeed. Okay, we do, however, want to adjust the size of this down here so that you guys can see the whole thing, preferably. Actually, you know what? Let's make this just a little bit... Nah, I don't know. Anyways, we should be good to go. Let's just move the webcam. That would be not the webcam. That would be something else. That would be something else. Not sure what that is. Let's move this. There we go. Alright, so now hopefully you guys can read this. If it's not big enough, and you guys can't see this properly, read it or whatever, then... You know what? It might not be big enough. Actually, I think it's not. Okay, sorry. We are getting very, very sidetracked here. Very, very sidetracked. We have not used this OBS scene in quite a while. Quite a while, indeed. Okay. There we go. Let's zoom this in. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Okay. we're good to go. Let's shrink OBS in so that we can fit the whole thing. There we go. Very nice indeed, very nice indeed. Alright. Alright, and that is that. So, let's uncrop the top just a little bit. There we go, that looks better. That looks better. Okay, so what do we want here? Why were we doing that? We were doing that for some reason. Okay, that's kind of important to know why we were doing that. We were trying... Oh yes, we were going to change the way OBS captures Minecraft. Okay, so let's go into studio mode. And now it is really small. We also... Hang on, let's try putting these side by side instead of up and down. Okay, general, we want not stream, we want, what do we want? Where is studio mode? Ah, there we go. Portrait / vertical, I think that changes it. There we go. That doesn't make it any bigger. Does not make it any big. Oh yes, of course, making it bigger. Oh, never mind. We can make it bigger just by extending the window down. Forgot that. It's the simple things that you forget when you're trying to do things. Whoops, we don't want that button changed, we want this button changed. There we go. Okay, so let's just extend that. There we go. So now we can hopefully see things a little bit easier. Okay. So let's go ahead and go in the preview scene here. So now you guys can see what's going on, which is very nice indeed. We can go ahead, and there are loads of cameras on the screen right now. Hello, everybody! There are multiple of everything right now. Okay, well, we want... Actually, that makes a really neat mosaic here kind of thing. It's like there's a main face, and then it's like a smaller face, and then there's a smaller face up here, and a smaller face down there, and it just like keeps splitting, doubling. It's like binary numbers. It's like there's two faces, one up there, and it's kind of hard for you guys to tell where I'm pointing right now because there are so many mouse pointers as well. Anyways, back to the point. The point would be the mouse pointer. That's kind of the point. Okay, so now that we got that sorted out, I'm gonna bring this below Muxy just so that... There we go. Okay. Okay, why were we doing all that? We were doing that for a particular reason. The reason was, let's go into... Just watch the preview scene, which is up at the top. Actually, I think if I extend... I think it's getting a little confusing which things you guys are seeing, which ones you're not seeing, but I think... Okay. Okay, let's extend it this far. There we go. So you should be able to see a little bit better because it has increased the size of the preview. So, look in this preview window here. We're going to switch it to the scene, there we go. So now you can see the OBS here. That was quite complicated. Okay, now you can see the OBS here. You can see this is the scene. We can move things around. We can do different things. We don't want to move things around right now. But what we do have in Y is there a selection. Oh, yes, because we got loads of Minecraft captures going on. Basically what happens here, on the right, you can see we were doing this for the challenge that we were doing, the new version Every Sunrise challenge. It required different capturing methods for different versions. So that kind of has something to do with it. Okay, so we're using this one right here, Minecraft Game Capture. That is the one we are using right now. Let's go and edit the properties of that. And you can see, here's all of the stuff that's going on here. So, it is capturing the window, capturing specific window, window match priority, all that. This is all what we usually use. But it's possible we need a different system, because here's the thing. There are multiple ways of capturing Minecraft. We don't have it capturing cursor. We want capture third-party overlays. Okay, is there any way... What I'm checking here is what was I checking here? Okay. Is there any way... Oh yes, is there any way to disable? Because for the webcam... Here's what we're checking, because for the webcam, where is the webcam? Webcam would be webcam green screen. There we go. There is, if you go down to properties, basically, it has a option somewhere. Where would that be? Deactivate when not showing. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's what I'm wondering, if we disable the Minecraft capture, does it actually disable? Because if you simply go over to here and click this hide button, then it hides Minecraft, which is nice, but it's not actually speeding it up. Is there a way, like, do you have to actually delete this thing from here? That's the question. And the thing is, if we delete it, then we have to recalibrate it for every single scene later. Like, not for every single scene, but we have to recalibrate it for our high pixel stuff, so that's not ideal. So, yeah. Do we have, what is this? Switch filters? It says game. Something about game. What is this? Oh, okay, so this would be the game audio, is what this is. Which really has nothing to do with the game, it's just capturing the system audio output, is what that is. So, okay, we got text, we got game audio. Just checking through, is there any other capture we have going on here that we want to turn off? Okay, stand mic, window capture here for Minecraft. This would be a window capture. You know what? Actually, come to think of it, what was happening, I think, with the beta versions, the alpha versions and all that, was that it was not actually grabbing them properly with this game capture. So if we add a new thing here, you can see there's a bunch of options. There is display capture, which captures your whole display, which you can then crop that in different ways, whatever you want. But if a window happens to show up over top of your Minecraft, then basically it shows up on the stream too. There's also game capture, which captures the specific game, which means that you can put something else over top on the screen, and OBS will still capture the game, so it won't capture whatever else you happen to throw on the screen. So that is the thing. Now, there's also window capture. And window capture captures a specific window. It's just a little bit different. You notice a few differences. Sometimes I think with frame rate, not entirely sure. But you do notice a few differences in how the game capture runs versus how the window capture runs. But it's basically the same concept. You put something on the screen over top of it and it doesn't show up. I think I don't use window capture very often. But perhaps it's time to try it. So, let's hide that game capture. Let's hope this works. Let's try showing the beta one. Okay, so this was beta. Our resolution's a little weird here. Let's try Minecraft pre-alpha. Okay, this resolution seems to fit a little better on screen. But it's not speeding it up. This would not be a game capture, I don't think. Yes, this is a game capture, never mind. Okay. We've got... And these all ran fine for the alpha stuff. That is okay. We've got here... InfDev window capture. That may not actually capture... It takes longer to... it takes a second sometimes to actually grab it. But it may not actually capture this game because it's set for the InfDev window. Which is a thing, so... Okay, you know what? Let's try a window capture just for the sake of trying a window capture. Okay, here we go. Let's add window capture. Let's call it window cap. I always put window capture in the title or whatever it happens to be because it's not always obvious afterwards what it is, what type of capture it was. So, test thinking. Let's try that. Test thinking 2. Window capture. We wanted to capture javaw.exe. There we go, that would be that. And we want... yeah, sure, capture cursor sounds good. Okay, now we can go ahead and move this over. And shrink it. There we go. Okay, so we are now trying a window capture. Let's go back into the game because having this chat bar at the bottom showing up does slow it down a little bit. But apparently not enough, or not much. Apparently not enough of a difference. Okay, we are spinning around. The tick speed is running really slowly, really slowly indeed. And it's just not cooperating. Not cooperating at all. Okay. So apparently that didn't fix it. So, in that case, what do we have next? We have... Let us get out of the game again. Okay. Want to get rid of this extra capture here, remove test thinking 2, and re-show the regular game capture. There we go. That looks good. Okay. Now, okay, we want... Trying to think how to do this. We want the tick speed to speed up dramatically. I could potentially stop recording. I don't think that'll make much difference, but then that makes things more complicated later on, so I don't really want to do that. Okay. The Discord is still running, which is okay. It should be... Because Discord's always running, and it's just never a problem, so that should be good. Okay. I'm out of ideas, except for the idea of offloading some of the processing onto the Mac. That is the only thing I can think. And when we tried that last week, we ran into an issue. But it may work. So, okay. Actually, let's try. You know what? Let's come out of studio mode here. Let's go back to the game scene. Here we go. Okay. Let us try quitting Minecraft. Let's try disabling all the mods. Actually, hang on. Let's run the test, because in between this stream and last stream, we did install an extra mod, just for the sake of testing it. It's not actually in the official release of the pack. But let me just look up the wiki here, so that we know how to use it. Okay, so this tells you what is slowing things down. So slash, whoops, trying to do slash on the Firefox instead of on the game. Okay, that would not be a slash, that would be a dot. There we go, let's go slash. There we go, slash profile. This mod would be Tick Profiler, by the way, for those of you guys who are curious. Okay, profile, we want to test entity profiling. Let's try that. No, you know what? Should we do the CPU utilization profiling first? Let's do that. Because there are no entities in the area. There are no entities at all, so... Okay. Okay, so profile U, slash profile U, enter. Okay, so this will run for 30 seconds, and it should tell us something about what is taking so long, why it is going so slowly. This is just completely ridiculous. Okay, so used CPU time, I guess that is the... Just found this mod recently. Okay, just saw it recently. So we got... I'm guessing that's the percentage of the game's various processes. So client thread... Oh! Client thread 99.5% and server thread 0.3%, and everything else smaller. Okay, so Minecraft is split into two different processes, roughly speaking, and it has, like, in single player, as I understand it, it's got a sort of a local server running on your own computer that nobody else can connect to. So it's like... So it's got basically your single player, what's called the server, and the client. And it sounds like the client is using so much CPU time. Which is interesting, because I thought with the pie chart showing the tick speed being slow, I would have thought that the server, because I thought the server runs the tick, doesn't it? But unless, wait a second, unless this mod counts everything as client. If it counts everything as client, then that's interesting. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's try two things, perhaps. Let's try offloading the server process onto the Mac over here, and see if we can get it to run faster. Now, the issue with this is that we were having trouble. I was having trouble with basically not being able to add more RAM, like having trouble. You have to set up like a command line script and things to get your server to launch with more RAM. And so it was actually, and the command line, I couldn't get that to work for some reason. Not sure why. Oh, do I have to be... It shouldn't need to run as administrator. The error was that it said, where was it? Just trying to read through. Unable to access jar file. So I'm guessing that's a permission issue. Possibly. No idea. That might be worth looking into. But let's see if the server doesn't crash from having too low RAM. Let's try actually starting the server with not enough RAM and see how that works. Also, there's another thing we can try as well. And what we can try is, there was, one of you guys suggested a while ago, a free server hosting website, and it might be worth, I'm just going to look up the, what the links were and stuff, but it might be worth trying that just for the sake of testing and seeing, because that, I know how to actually add more RAM on that, so that's a little easier. So it'll be like a private server, just like for a one-person kind of deal, but need to actually find the server. Okay, so server on the Mac is loading up with only 1 GB of RAM, so it might end up crashing. Okay. Where was the info? Okay. Okay, so just before we get diving into that, I'm just gonna try the Mac server at the moment. And it is loading up. Oh yes, and also, I think Livsvanity suggested, and I kind of forgot about this, checking the logs. Where would they even show up? I think they are not actually accessible right now, because the launcher is quit. Okay, so I guess we can check the logs for Minecraft after we restart the game with it allowed to keep the launcher open. Okay, so let's exit back to menu. Exit back to menu. And menu is running smoothly, as you can see. The background of the menu is running smoothly. Which is nice, which is very nice indeed. Okay, let's go to multiplayer. And it appears that it's up and running. Okay. Direct connect. We should be seeing this. Logging into the Mac server should be running, should be loading, and hopefully not crashing the server. But okay. Yes. Well, that's a good sign. We've got the cow is actually moving. That is a good sign. That is a good sign indeed. Okay. It is using close to 600 megabytes of RAM out of the gigabyte that it's allowed. And our frame rate is dropping, but is that... Wait a minute, there's cows in the area. Hang on. /kill entities. All entities. There we go. Got rid of all of those. Oh, and forgot about the entities dropping their, like, pork chops and beef and whatever. There we go. Just need to get rid of all those. Now respawn. Now we should see. We should see everything running a little bit faster. Actually, we might need to log off of the server and log back onto it to actually see the speed up. So at the moment we are on logging into the local server. We should be seeing things running like they should be. Hopefully. Okay, so the tick is still going way too slow. You can see the pie chart. It's not supposed to have that giant purple section on the pie chart. It does appear that VSync is on or something. That's weird. What is going on? Options. VSync is off. Okay. Well, let's do... Hopefully the server will stay on long enough for this, but let's do /profile... What was the... I think I closed the window. What was the link? Okay. Okay. Profile U. CPU utilization. Oh, it still says there's 83 entities in the area. Okay, hang on. Before we do the /profile... Before we do that, let's go ahead and... Oh, why is it not... Oh, because it's not clicking on the game. Okay, hang on. We want to kill the entities again because it still says there's 83 of them in the area. Okay, we want to /kill entities, all entities. Enter. There we go. Yep, a whole bunch more items. And it still says there's a lot of them, so let's do another /kill again. Wow, how many? Oh, of course, you have to do mob spawning. Game rule. Do mob spawning. And do mob loot as well. Game rule, do mob loot. False, that will stop the mobs from dropping items. We want to get rid of all the items, basically, is what we're trying to do. Okay. So stop them from dropping items, and game rule, do mob spawning. We want that to be false. I think what they're doing is they're spawning on us while we're trying to get rid of them. False. Okay, this is deathly slow. It is crazy. Okay, so now they will no longer be spawning. And difficulty. /difficulty. Because... peaceful. Because we do not want monsters to be spawning either. Okay, there we go. Now we can do /kill all entities. And we should see a bunch more of them gone. Okay, you know what, we keep spawning in different places as well. Let's set our spawn point to right here, so that we can kill them all in an area, and then still survive. /spawn point. Let's do them right here, tilde, 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 I think that's what it's called. The little squiggly line thing. Okay. Oh, spawn point player. Okay, so you need to put the player. Come on. Spawn point. Andy. _Andy. There we go. Okay, so now we will spawn here. So now we can kill all entities again. And should actually not have to do it over again. Okay, there we go. So there are no entities in the area now. And as you can see, there's still low frame rate. We need to go get rid of that graph so we can see, yep, there's one entity in the area. That would be myself. So, okay, let's close that. There we go. Let's get this graph up and running once again. Now, okay, we want to use the tick profiler thing, that mod. Let's do /profile. As long as the server keeps running, we should be good to go. /profile. Let's set it to profile U for CPU utilization, because there are no entities in the area, so we shouldn't have any problems. Wait. Oh, it has to be installed on the server. Okay, never mind. We do not have it in the server, so we can't tell what is taking so long. Well then. Okay. Yeah, we don't have it on the server. We can fix that. We can fix that. We can fix that. Let's do that just one moment. Need to find the link and send it over to the other computer there. Okay. I just need to find the link. Where did I get that thing from? That is the question. Okay. So I have the link to the GitHub. I have the link to the GitHub here, but I don't have the link to the mod on... I don't know. Anyways, I guess we'll leave that for now. What we do want... Okay, well, so we don't need to bother with that other server thing. Okay, I'm gonna start searching on the CurseForge page to try to find Tick Profiler. Yeah, so we don't need to go to that online server thing because obviously that's not the problem. Okay, so just loaded up the page here, just trying to find it. Ah, yes. Okay, so found the page, need to just go ahead and download that and get it installed in the server. Then we can run the test. Alright, gonna quit the server. There we go. Gonna get this added. Aha, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. we are on the disconnected screen. You can see the pie chart here, and the tick is still using a whole lot. It's slowly speeding up, actually, which is interesting. Okay, so let's keep an eye on that meter while we are waiting for the server to launch again. And see. That is interesting. What's it getting replaced with? So that brown section that's growing is FPS limit underscore wait, which is interesting. Not sure what that's doing there. What it means, even. And then the next little sliver, the blue sliver, is display update. So, okay. FPS limit underscore wait. That's interesting. Okay, well, the server's on its way back up just to see, by offloading the process, if it will help at all. Okay, so FPS limit underscore wait is taking an increasingly large amount of time. But that's okay, I guess, because it doesn't have to do a whole lot of FPS right now, because we're on the disconnected screen. Server, come on. Be up and running momentarily. You know what, while we're waiting for it, let's just go ahead and add this to the proper server list. Copy. Add server. Local server, there we go. Okay. And now we can actually see it properly. Okay, so it calls it vanilla. Refresh. Oh, it's still preparing spawn area, still getting up and running. Okay. Preparing spawn area 60, 70%. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Refresh. Oh, it's getting there. Unloading Dimension 1, like it does. Galacticraft remote version found. Okay, when is it done? Refresh. There we go, okay. Okay, looks like we are good to go. Let's jump in here. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so we are here. And it's running smooth? Well, that's weird. How long is that gonna hold for? Okay. Well, that is... the server says can't keep up. Did the system time change or is the server overloaded? But it often does that, even with packs that are stable. That is weird. All of a sudden, we've got a strong frame rate? That is weird. What just changed? All I did was I added that tick profiler mod and restarted the server. Was it just waiting on the menu screen like we saw there, the disconnected screen with that FPS wait thing going on? Is that what did it? Okay, that's weird. We're getting... I mean, as you can see, it's not exactly stable. This is... And we're getting a couple of hiccups here and there. But we do have a lot of red lines, but we have enough green lines to make it playable. Okay. We start moving around, we start getting a little bit more lag. A lot more lag. But then if we stand still, then it goes back up in speed. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That is very interesting indeed. Okay, so not entirely sure why it is suddenly... Well, working is a relative term, as you can see. But not sure why it is suddenly working. Okay then. Okay. That's a relative term. It's still hanging up, still getting slow every so often. Yeah, okay. Okay, so what now? What do we have now? We have... Sorry, just moving things around here. Okay. So what we have here... Okay, so now that the server... Because this was obviously running slow last time we were logged onto here. So, does this mean that if we go back into single player that it'll work? Because if it will work, then we can test the cow thing. Okay, so let's go back into the test super flat thing. Because what we want to do is isolate which mod, or is it the Forge version, that is slowing everything down. That's what our goal is to isolate the issue. So, okay, here we go. We've got... Nice, okay. Okay, so yes, we're getting good frame rate now, which is weird. Really weird. It's, I mean, not exactly good. It still is hanging up every so often. You can tell it starts getting a little... if you can see that. Let me go ahead and change it to time set day. There we go. But as you can tell, it does get jumpy, and it is, like, hanging up every so often. But it still is actually running smooth. That is very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay. Now, now, an hour into the stream, now we can finally test the cows. Show you guys what is going on with the cows. So, this would be, let's face positive X. Okay. Slash summon. We are going to summon a sheep, and you can see that it doesn't change much. If it does the same, it never works the same when you're actually trying to demonstrate something, but we shall see. Summon sheep, and let's summon it to our location plus 10 blocks that way. There we go. So you see there was a... Oh, it actually is slowing down slightly. We are in the single player at the moment. But as you can see, just simply having a sheep around, like, it's slowing it down a little bit with having it, watching it move on screen. But if we go ahead and turn away from it, it's not affecting things too badly. Although it is a little bit, actually. It wasn't the other day. Let's summon a bunch more sheep. There we go, let's just do a whole bunch. Whole bunch of sheep. We want lots of sheep. Lots of sheep. Lots of sheep. Okay. So it's running okay. It's actually... There are a few stutters here and there, and as you can see, it does have a lot of red lines. But what I'm looking at right now is the big bunches of red lines that come together. That's what really makes it slow. And we're not getting too many of those. That's sort of okay. Sort of okay. We are getting a lot of stuttery red lines, which is not ideal at all. But it's reasonable. Let's go ahead and summon the cow. Let's see if it does the same thing as yesterday. And see. Summon... cow. There we go. And we got a drop in frame rate for while it was being summoned, but then it was okay. That's weird. We're not getting too many drops in frame rate at the moment. Okay, that is really weird. Let's just spawn a whole bunch. What is that? That is called compressed cow? What is going on? How did that get summoned? What is that? No idea. Is that like a shorter cow? Or is that meaning that there's a whole bunch of cows in that one cow or something? Like what does that mean? But this is actually playable at the moment. No idea why it's still doing that. And what is this compressed cow thing going on here? Okay, we're chasing a cow, which actually that is good news. Good news because we can actually chase a cow. Okay, where we want to, hang on, fix that. There we go. Okay. Hang on, we need to get back to all our animals, but we're just getting a little bit distracted with this compressed cow here. I just want to see if... Whoa! No kidding! Okay, wow, we just discovered something new. We got a compressed cow. Apparently that's a thing. Basically what happens, you destroy the compressed cow and you get a lot of cows showing up. Well then, never expected that to be a thing. Okay, anyways, we are done with that compressed cow at the moment. It doesn't appear to be slowing down the frame rate much, which is weird. Let's profile the entities so we can see. Profile entities. Nope, that would be the wrong button. Profile entities. There we go. Running entity profiler for 30 seconds, so we will see what it shows by way of slowing things down or not. "30 seconds is a long time when you're waiting for it." Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but that pie chart. Oh, before we read the standings there, the pie chart, the third one is display update. That's the blue sliver that is bigger than it was before. Correct me if I'm wrong, I guess that's more of a fixed point, because display update, I think, is how long it's waiting for the actual display to actually change to another frame physically. I think that's what it's talking about, so that's more of a fixed reference point, if I'm not mistaken. So if display, let's say if display update were taking up half the pie chart or something, then that means that everything else is running so fast that most of its time is spent waiting for the actual display to flash another frame. So in that way, it would be kind of like a fixed reference point, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact that display update is growing means that the rest of everything, because it looks like that the tick is still using 2/3 of the pie chart, 2/3 of the time, but 2/3, that's 2/3 of what it's waiting for. And so I would guess if display update were a lot smaller, that means like in a objective time that the tick is, like, if with display update being bigger, I think in objective time the tick speed is actually running even faster because display update is more of the weight, if I'm not mistaken. If that makes any sense what I'm saying there, if you can let me know if you happen to know anything about it, then that'd be great. But okay. Well, this is interesting. So it was definitely cows yesterday. Let's check our stats here. Running entity profile for 30 seconds. Okay. Ticks per second, pretty close to 20 ticks per second. Okay, so this is acceptable. Single entity. Okay, so we got a bunch of entities listed. We've got time per tick. We want to the green sections here. We want the section that says all entities of type. I think all entities of type, I believe, is what we're looking for. And so time per tick, and then there's the percentage. It says sheep is using 58% and cow is using 41%. Now, my guess is that that is 41% of the time taken by entities. So if entities aren't taking a lot of time overall, then that might be okay. Slash profile, what was it? E, was it? Nope, that would be entities. We already did that. What we're looking for is U. CPU utilization test. That is what we're looking for. But we shall wait until this is done, and then do slash profile U. Let's wait until the entity profiler this time is done. But it's not slowing down, which is very good. Not sure why it's not slowing down, but it's not. Okay. Oh, it's just done. Okay, excellent, excellent indeed. Let's do CPU utilization profiler. And then the next thing to test, because I'm assuming we will find out But I'm assuming that when I restart the game, it will not be running this fast, hopefully, because nothing changed and now it's running faster, which means that nothing will change again and it'll suddenly be running slower. So hopefully we can actually get it running slower to find out what the problem is. But gonna restart the game with showing the log so that we can see what's going on here. Okay. Client thread is using 96% of the CPU time, but obviously things are running much more reasonably, which is interesting. Oh, also the system memory is at 6.1 out of 7.9 gigabytes. That's gone down from 6.5 down to 6.1. And paged pool is not much bigger. It's 232 megabytes. Okay. And CPU is still running the same speed, running at 64% usage. I think that's pretty close to what it was before. 3.14 gigahertz. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We want to restart the game. We want to restart the game with the log enabled. So let's go ahead and do this. Quit game. Let's tell the Twitch launcher to show the Minecraft launcher, keep that open. Okay, Minecraft. Got the hiccups here. Okay. Minecraft, what do we have? We want, when the game starts, keep launcher open, yes. Yes, we want that. Keep launcher open, okay. And we want a thinking pack. We want it to be showing the log. Where do we do that? Do we do that in the launcher? Do we do that in the Twitch launcher or the Minecraft launcher? Because basically, the Twitch launcher launches a custom Minecraft launcher. And so Twitch launcher launches a custom Minecraft launcher, and then when it launches that, I think it's from here in the custom Minecraft launcher that we need to tell it to open output log when the games start. Yeah, let's do that. Excuse me, got the hiccups. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and just adjust the resolution again. So that's weird, it suddenly started working. That is really, really, really weird. Excuse me. Really weird. Okay, so we got a log here. So, I'm gonna keep an eye on the log, and let you guys know if I see anything out of the ordinary. Let's allow debug stuff as well. Okay, so we want to scroll down. Okay. Come on, Minecraft. Show up. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Minecraft is on the way. You guys will see it momentarily. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. It's on its way. Okay. Hopefully the log will tell us something of what's going on. Why it is taking so long. Hopefully. The weird thing is that it was running slow whether it was running with connecting to a local server or whether it was just running all in single player. It was still running slow, which is weird. So, and then it suddenly sped up. Suddenly sped up. Okay. Okay, so, what do we got? What do we got here? We've got OpenAL engine initialized, sound engine started. It's not showing the log that you're seeing on screen right now. Oh, max texture size, 16384. Okay. Come on, okay. Sorry, just getting tired. Okay. What do we got here? Caching dependency, mode 1, net.minecraftforge.client.mode1.model loader $ weighted random model, blah 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 blah. Okay, a big red text that went by so fast that we couldn't do anything about it. Excuse me, got the hiccups here. I'm not sure if you're hearing that on the microphone or not. It does have a noise filter. It does have a noise filter, which is very nice. Okay, what do we have here? Finishing up. Okay, so here we go. So just before we jump into the world here, let's see what we have by way of log. We probably don't need all the info stuff, so let's get rid of the info. We want to see, okay, so debug messages. Prepared asset index have 1300 blah 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 total files to check or download. Waiting for 1300 blah 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 futures, nothing to download, extracting 3 files, installing versions. Okay, so that's the debug. What about error? FML appears to be missing any signature data. This is not a good thing, but pretty sure I've seen that message over and over again on different mod packs. We've got parsing error loading recipe ex nihilo creatio artificial hive. Parsing error loading recipe. Okay, so it's loading that recipe and it got a parsing error. But that shouldn't slow the frame rate down, I guess. And then it's got a whole bunch of text below that, as all part of the same thing. Oh, it seems to be at like where it's located at. All the subfolders and things. Okay, parsing error loading recipe, so another recipe error loading recipe. Okay, now we got some new things. Invalid, not new as in like since we've been sitting here, but new as in different things. Invalid list entry while blacklisting cargo. And we've got java.lang illegal argument exception, invalid item while parsing config line, invalid list entry while blacklisting cargo, java.lang illegal argument exception. Okay, so there's a bunch of, and then it's got, oh, you know what, those are IC2 things. IC2 things, we don't have the IC2 mod, so probably what it's saying is that it couldn't find a connection to that mod, so it's not going to load those items that are related to it. That is most likely what it's saying. Okay, so those are the errors. What about the warns? There's 165 warns. Wow, okay. Failed to read the config file for lib.gui.cfg. Oh, buildcraft GUI. That's weird. Unable to load guide page. This is weird. If you guys want, maybe I should post this log in Discord or something once we get actually going and actually try to find something in the game. Okay, so let us turn on all the categories again. Okay, let's jump into test superflat and see. Let's see. Just trying to see the scroll bar. It's a little difficult to see on that angle. Okay. Okay, we're loading some things in pretty fast. Okay, so what do we have so far? Let's go ahead and get into the game here. And we've got some... Oh, something's taking too long. Root took approximately... it's moving so fast. Over 100 milliseconds. It keeps repeating the same message over and over again with different times on it. Something's taking too long. Root.tick took approximately a bunch of seconds. So root.tick and root. Okay, looks like we are getting down to what the issue is, actually. Okay, so it looks good. So root and root.tick are taking way too long. It keeps saying that over and over again, and the mouse is still attached to the game. Excuse me. Got the hiccups. Okay. Where's the mouse? There's the mouse. Okay. We've got... Okay, so let's go to the beginning of the root.tick messages. Okay. Base folder missing. It's got an error there. Red error. Base folder missing. See, users, Twitch, folder, Minecraft instances, a Thinking Pack 2, saves. This is a directory path. Okay. Saves. Test Superflat, that's where we are. Galacticraft. Overworld map. Base folder missing. But I doubt that would be what's slowing down the frame rate right now, because I don't think Galacticraft has much to do with that. That's an interesting thought. Could it be Galacticraft? I don't know, it's missing something, and then it says something taking too long. Root took too long, root.tick took too long. Okay. Well, that would be interesting to find out. Now, here's another thing. Galacticraft, we are not, as you can see, new Galacticraft version available. We are on the recommended version, but not the latest version. So it's possible that he fixed something, if it is Galacticraft that's causing this. Excuse me. Got the hiccups, as I said. Okay, let's see. Okay, so root and root.tick is taking way too long. Okay, so where that spike went by on the screen, it was showing so many messages about root and root.tick taking too long all at once, and then the spike went away and the messages stopped coming. So I think we have identified the issue. Now, what does that mean? Root took too long and root.tick took too long. No idea what that means, but at least we have come down to what the issue is. So, okay, so that's good. Logs can be very helpful sometimes, especially when you need wood for doing things. Then logs are really helpful, but that's a different kind of log. But this kind of log is very helpful for when you're trying to... yep, root.tick and root are taking too long. Taking too long. Okay, so hopefully that's not just a generic message. Hopefully we can actually identify what it is that's taking too long out of that. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to have to do is, now that we know that it's not necessarily the running the stream that's doing it. Oh, and I think the, after having restarted it, I think the processor affinities are not the same anymore for Minecraft. Let's see, gotta check. Yep, there's a laggy sheep. Okay. What we'd like to see is what we were getting at one point with 200 plus FPS. That is what we are looking for. Affinities, I think, have been reset. Yes, so it's using all cores right now. And I think the priority's been reset as well, because we restarted the game. Yes, it has. Okay. So at least we found its root and root.tick. Not sure what they mean, but it appears, as you can see, it is running reasonably fast, which is very nice. That's about as well. It was running a little better without OBS, but that may not be an OBS thing, as we just saw it just earlier. It just randomly started running a whole lot faster. So that is interesting indeed. We start moving along, and yep, every time we get that big spike on the screen. Oh, it says something new. root.gamerenderer.level.terrain_setup.rebuild near. It's taking too long. And then it's got another one, root.gamerenderer.level.terrain_setup. Okay, so terrain setup.rebuild near, terrain_setup. root.gamerenderer.level took too long, and root.gamerenderer took too long. But mostly it's root and root.tick. Those are the things. So hopefully that's not just a generic error message. Hopefully we can actually identify what the issue is from that. But yeah, so you can see in between all of these stuttery frames, you can see we're getting, that looks like well over 120 FPS. So it looks like we're getting between 100 and 200 or 250 or so FPS with in between these red stutters. And then we've got the massive red stutters that happen as well. Like that one. Yep, root and root.tick are taking way too long. It's just like throwing so many of those errors. You know what? I think I'm going to try see if I can post this on Discord somehow. Not sure how to do that. Let me know if you guys want it posted, and we might be able to do that somehow. But I will try to identify what the issue is, but I'm going to have to end the stream here. Got the hiccups, and also it's been an hour and a half as well. So kind of time to get on and do some things and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, and hopefully we can get this solved now that we are getting a little bit closer. We've actually seen an error. We're getting a little bit closer to identifying what the problem is, so then we can get it fixed. And also let me know if any of you guys are trying this mod pack as well. Let me know if you happen to have the same issue, or if it's just me on this computer or what. Yeah, let me know if you happen to try it. But in any case, we are gonna move on. We're gonna try to get this solved. Excuse me. Okay, so see you guys next week.